Hey, shalom, 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 shalom. First and foremost, I'm going to say, call on Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakak Wadash. Giving all praises to the great Ali Shaddai of Israel, the great I am, the possessor of heaven and earth, of the spirits of heaven and earth. Also come before you in the name of Yahweh Shai, the Adonai, the Hamashiach, the light of this world, the one who died for Israel, and rose to sit to become my father's royal and beautiful right arm. Shalom, amen. My Redeemer, my Comforter, and my salvation, and the only one that pleads his blood over Israel, the only nation granted for a salvation. Shout out to Great Millstone, who give me wisdom and knowledge and understanding, not only to get me to go back to Yahweh Shem Shai, the great Almighty, but to prepare me for these strange and wondrous and dark times ahead. Shout out to them, the Great Millstone, because they work around the clock. They always digging, decoding the Bible, pulling out research that relates to the Bible, breaking down the real history of the world, and giving us everything that we need to prepare. So that way, when things do happen, you were told and you were warned, and you should know about it by now. So shout out to the elders of Great Millstone and the younger ones of the Great Millstone. Shout out to those beautiful brothers that put in work more than I ever could. Shout out to the Akim, the brothers that's in the word. Shalom to them beautiful brothers that do the best they can. They go to the highways and byways. They research. They do everything in their power to not only show that they got works and they got faith, but, to show you how about Shem Shai, that they love them as well. Especially for them brothers. Well, whether you're in the camp or not, you still do the work, to the best of your abilities. Shalom. Shout out to the Aqua, the beautiful women that is in the word, and it might not be too many of y'all that's in the word. Might not be too many of y'all that's getting yourself in order, but shout out to those beautiful women that are. Like Yahweh say, when you find a woman, when you find it a good woman, you find a good thing. There are some good women out there in the world that's getting themselves to order, getting their kids in order, or if they on their own, they're getting themselves in order. If they got a man, they allow the man to get the family in order. There's nothing wrong with that. You fear the law, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Shem Shai, and you listen and you learn in silence. There's nothing wrong with listening and learning in silence and allowing the men to speak and to stand up for our nation, to stand up for Yahweh Shem Shai. Amen to you beautiful women that's doing that. Shout out to, well, actually no more shout outs. Call on Yahweh Shem Shai in the name of Shai. Welcome to another episode. I got to be more on point, put myself more in order. I missed a week, which ain't cool. I just want the Most High to take the spirit of laziness off of me so I can be able to do what I need to do and handle whatever I need to handle, whatever kind of work I need to handle for him. And, just coming out to the highways and byways and listening to the teachers, and it's in a sort of sense that study of his own. If you can study, you study, of course, yeah, but you can listen to a Great Millstone. They're bringing out all kinds of information for you to look up, all kind of words for you to write down and study. And just listening to them, most importantly, and getting my mind in order and preparing me, because you're born in an era where it's going to be a lot of changes, a lot of strange things happening, dark times ahead. Yes, it's going to be bad. And you see it on the news. You hear rumors about it. You see it out in the world. So it's pretty hard to deny at this point. It is. We at a point of time to where if you denying it, you just in denial. And if you accept it, then you accept it and you know what's about to happen. See it coming. The title of today's video is The Return of the Powers. And I can never sweat this enough for people. You got a lot of non-believers out there that they believe in other things, like many other foreign gods, especially our people. But this go for the world as it is today. They believe in different ideals, different spiritualities, like anything that don't have any credit to do with God. They don't believe in it, and they try not to give Yahweh his credit and his just due. And for those that consider themselves or claim to believe in it, they believe in a man-made God. So people are like totally confused. Some people believe that there is no God, that everything was born from an explosion. They call it the Big Bang Theory, to where everything it was nothing. And when it exploded, all these galaxies and these quasars and these constellations, these comets came out of one big explosion. And it's sad because for Yahweh Hashem Yahushua to be the creator, you cannot remove him from creation. You cannot remove him from his own story. You can't do that. So how was the world created through an explosion? Yahweh did it. And that's not even the proper order of how to say that it was created. So, you got people that believe in these crazy things, like how there are other gods, like the story, and I think it's a Chinese story about Susanoo and Amaterasu, and I do believe it was two gods, and there was like a male and a female, and they kind of like bridged off the story of Adam and Eve and kind of made their own powers, their own beliefs, which don't exist, and they gave it a whole different entirely order that if you read the Chinese Bible, well, that's what I'm gonna call it, well, it's not the Bible. If you read the Chinese history and their stories are full of holes, like, and it's like a copyright from the Bible. It's a lot of stories like that, like the fake version of the Bible, that one also describes Yahweh being just God, and you don't know who he is. You don't know who he is. You don't know what he looked like. You don't know nothing about him, and he just created the light, and the light was actually, they don't even tell you that the Christ was the light. It just tell you that he created the light, and the light was good, and he separated the light from the darkness. See, and then it's funny because if you go down a couple of scriptures, a couple of precepts, it do tell you about him creating two lesser lights, the sun and the moon. So in the beginning, what was that light that he created? And a lot of the Christian mythology, that's what I call it, mythology, Christian mythology does not, it's a full of holes too. And they don't describe what the Most High looked like. They don't describe what his son looked like. They don't even know who the powers are. They just think that, and then they add in the story. I'm gonna skip to another religion that I was just thinking about. Then they add into the story of how at some point God created the angels, and it don't say that in the beginning of Genesis at all, that the devil, he created Adam and he told all the angels to bow, and the devil didn't bow, and the devil got into an argument with God, and he rebelled against God, and he took 1/3 of the angels with him, and they fell to earth, and he created his heaven on earth. And God stood in heaven. This is God, it's not Yahweh. And this fable of wickedness, because it is pretty evil for you to say that, because it doesn't say that the angels rebelled. And if you are looking for that, there are the angels, but they existed. They existed on earth. You got an order to the angel hierarchy and the lowerarchy and the hierarchy. So when you refer to the angels on earth, you're talking about the Israelites. When you refer to the angels in heaven alongside Yahweh and Yahweh Shai, and Yahweh Shai's command is the powers that be. So I got another one too. Another stupid religion that refers to some sort of powers like Norse mythology, how Odin, the creation of Odin and his gods, and just a ridiculous mockery of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. And they don't refer to him, actually they do refer to him as an almighty in a sort of sense. They refer to him as the All-Father, and one eye is, I think one eye is dead, and it can see like different, I don't know, it has like certain powers. I want to get into it too much, hold on. Yeah, one has his eye can do some sort of powers, and he just this old man, and on top of that, he an evil god. So he betrays his own children, and he betrays the gods that he created for his own gain, or the story about the Greek gods, how Zeus Zeus is the almighty in his story, and he's some sort of horror god having sex with humans and having sex with different gods and boring kids. And they steal so much from the Bible, and yet their religion is so full of holes, which is why religions over time, they do pass away. They do, but he was having sex with so many women, and he was some horror god, like they called Yahweh, well, they don't call him that because a lot of people don't know about him, but they pretty much are pointing saying that God is a whore and he does whatever he wants, come to find out that in certain stories of Greek mythology, Zeus is an evil god, and he is the god of the lightning. And then you got the god of water, and then you got the god of the underworld, and then so on and so forth. But their story is full of holes too, and the god of war, that story is a spin-off, even though it's not canon, that the god of war would kill his own father. But they got some disrespectful religions out there that not only mock Yahweh, but they take a lot of references from him. You see, so it's funny how, you know, like God, like Yahweh say, the people worship wood and stone, which they do. And behind these wood and stones are the demon gods that are the lower archy. They're not even a lower archy. They are part of a whole nother department, but the powers that be govern over them and control them. But they deceive people into making them think that the gods that they worship are real, and they're not real. So, you know, that's the title for today, is the powers that be. And I was watching a video today, and it was a real interesting video. It was this white guy, right? And everywhere that he went, he destroyed something. Everywhere that he went, he killed something. Everywhere he went, he littered and trashed everything, and then remodeled everything for his own gain. You know, like factories that torture the cows. You know, factories that make chicken. You know, factories that actually use humans as some sort of slavery, some sort of form of slavery. You know, pollution, major pollution to pollute the world and dilute the world, making the atmosphere messed up, making the oceans destroyed. You know, just doing pure wickedness. And then at the end of the video, the aliens came and they killed him and turned him into a welcome mat, and then flipped the mat. They killed him, turned him into a mat, and when they flipped the mat said welcome. So the whoever is coming can do the world better than what he did. So in a sort of sense, it, you know, triggered. If it was, I mean, I've been planning on doing this subject alone, because this subject is repetitive, but it has to be known that there are greater powers that be, you know, and they exist, and they are around you every day. And from what they had created, we know that they exist, but so many people is so consumed and so addicted to this world that they believe in more than one thing, or sometimes they don't believe in God at all. They believe in different religions and different ideals, and especially our people, and it makes them lose sight of what is truly real and what is false. But, you know, overall, you know, this is the subject of the matter, is that I can never sweat it enough. Like, and I said in that quote, that because I commented on the video, and I was all like, people laughing. But, you know, during the times of the nuclear time, when the world is going to be eroded and destroyed by chemicals and pollution from these demonic explosions, and during that time of war, that the powers that be, or what you call aliens, they gonna come back, and they gon' at the peak of all the chaos, at the maximum of all the chaos and all the destruction, because the nuclear exchange is the max, the peak of all the destruction. That is the climax of everything. And well, the climax is the return of the Messiah, but he a part of the supposedly alien menace that people quote about. And I said that, you know, people have been wondering if we alone or not in this universe, and the answer is coming very shortly. You're going to get your answer. You're going to get your response. It's all a part of Yahweh's plans, but at the end of the day, Yahweh is it's a part of his plans to destroy the world with a nuclear exchange. But at the same time, he is tired of people that's running this world, and it's not the way he wanted it to be ran. He actually had people, well, not people, but, you know, the main part of the story is that he actually had people, which are the Israelites, the Negroes, Mexicans, and the Indians. They were the ones originally in charge of the world, but they fell off, and they made mistakes, and they turned their back on Yahweh. So in the story, since they didn't want to be in charge, or they made the mistake and they failed because they disobeyed Yahweh. Yahweh put the very thing that they worship in charge and showed them, and this is the whole display of what the world is right now, showed them what it's like when you run the world improperly. So now, like the Most High said, it would be in my heart that I wouldn't destroy this world, but they're not going to let my people go. You know, they're not going to help them. They're not going to put them on. That's not what the devil is designed for, you know. They even got, like I said, they even got the devil all wrong. They think that the devil is some fallen angel, giant angel living underground. And when the time comes, an angel going to come down with a key and then unlock the key. And then the rest of him and his gang, they're going to fly up and do battle with God in the last days, or on the last day, or in the last days. And they don't even know who the devil is. And they're going to actually, when the times do come, they're going to be like, the devil is loose upon the world, the fallen angel Satan. When Satan has been running around the world and he's been destroying everything behind the scenes, and they just don't know who Satan actually is in the story. So, you know, hey, that's to each his own. It's going to be more of a laugh. It's going to be sad when the stuff start happening, but you know, if you happen to be amongst these idiots during those times, you're going to have so many people with so many questions of why this, why that, different assumptions, different excuses, different reasons, or they feel like what's exactly going on, but they didn't study and they didn't believe in what they had heard, or some of them are not even aware of it at all. And they're going to be making these different accusations, and it'll make you laugh. Like, you guys are far from the truth. You guys don't know anything at all. And we are around that time to where instead of Yahweh giving away or letting you have this knowledge of the world, he's taking it away from you. So everything that's happening right now is people are questioning and wondering why it's happening. See, now if you at that point to where you question it and you wondering why things are happening and you don't know why, and that's because Yahweh is removing the knowledge from you. He's not allowing you to figure it out. He's allowing you to believe in something else, and this is false. So there is no basis to what you believe, and it can be a simple thing as what a good example of believing you believing that you a doctor, you know. And when the world and when the collapse finally forward and it comes and it makes impact, you only was a doctor. You wasn't a doctor to save lives. You was a doctor just to make your money. You know, you understand that? And when the collapse came, everything that you knew passed away. So that was the old world. We about to be on that convergence line to where the old world is about to pass away and the new world is definitely coming. So we in a convergence line of an extreme change. And these people are not prepared for it. So we can go to Genesis real quick and read it. And it's funny because the people that don't believe that people that don't believe in the Bible, your governments, the people that run this world definitely believe in the Bible. They definitely know what's going on. They definitely know that there is one God. They know about the powers. They know that these powers exist. They know how powerful they can be. They know from the foundations of the world. They know secrets that prove that Yahweh exists. Like, this particular God is real. Now, out of all the gods, this one is the real deal. You know, so why people sitting up there contemplating and sitting there babbling and arguing amongst themselves about what they think is true, your government and your people is following the stories in the Bible and doing exactly what God says in the book, and everything is coming true. They're following the steps all the way up to the last day, which is the nuclear event. Because the powers, they want to see Yahweh. They want to see God. They want to see the powers. They're actually testing the metal, even though they know they exist. They want to challenge God to some point, and they know that they will fail, struggling to something with an end, you know. So they are pretty much aware of it, and they going with they going for it. They want that they want to challenge the powers, and they want to be the powers. So, you know, they going for it. They definitely are, and they ain't got no choice but to go for it, because this is a part of the Lord's scripture, and this is a part of his story to make them do what he wants them to do. But, you know, overall, that is what's true. And a lot of the people, they debate and they talking all this mess when these governments is actually coming together, and this white man is actually coming up with a plan to get you he actually unrolling the beast system now. So that was a shocker, and that's what's scaring people right now, is that he's actually initiating the first step of the beast system, which is that Fed app now. So while people is over there talking and arguing and saying this and that, that's not what's happening. What's happening is what's coming out of the book, that another major prophecy had fulfilled itself, and this is that prophecy, you know. So, and it's the prophecy triggered to the 4 beasts and the 7-headed dragon in Babylon, the ancient mystery, you know. So you guys got to understand, and this is all leading up to the return of the Messiah and the powers that be that come with him. And it's not some abbreviation. It's not something for a lot of people to be playing with, or a lot of people to be talking about, like, you know, talking shit, laughing, thinking that it's a bunch of jokes. I mean, the Lord gave them different ideologies, of course, because he didn't want them to know. But, you know, a lot of people really are talking about this, and they not understanding how serious it actually is. And they, you know, playing around with dangerous things. Stuff that's far beyond their understanding, yet it's been in their face the whole time. So it says in the beginning, just Genesis, I'm going to just read it real quick. It says, in the beginning, Yahweh created the heavens and the earth. The earth was without form and void, and darkness was on the face of the deep. And the spirit of Yahweh was hovering over the waters, and hovering over the face of the waters. Then he said, let there be light. And there was light. And Yahweh saw the light, and that it was good. And Yahweh divided the light from the darkness. Yahweh called the light day, and the darkness he called night. So the evening and the morning were the first day. It says, then Yahweh said, let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters. Thus Yahweh made the firmament and divided the waters, which were under the firmament, from the waters which were above the firmament, and it was so. And Yahweh called the firmament heaven. So the evening and the morning were the second day. And each and every day that go by is 1,000 years. So it took time to create this. You know, Yahweh created Yahweh Shai. And Yahweh Shai created the powers, which was all the way up from the powers all the way down to the Israelites, because you got to have somebody to run the earth, just as well as the heavens and the cosmos and everything in creation as it is. So, you know, these powers are very real. They're very dangerous. They speak about them in Ezekiel, and I'm going to go to Ezekiel 2 to clarify that. They speak about the powers in Ezekiel and how extreme they are and how dangerous they can be. So, you know, a lot of people just playing with stuff that you have no idea what's actually coming. You didn't even give your spirit or your mind or your body that backbone to prepare what's about to happen, you know. So, you know, and the Lord is at the point to where it's like, if they don't believe, let them not believe, but it's coming, whether you like it or not. Space ain't there for no reason. These planets and these stars are not there for no reason. The stars and the earth is not no big dome. It's not flat. You know what I'm saying? He didn't make these clouds or these sun and the moon for a reason. He didn't make the earth for a reason. He didn't make man. He didn't make creation for a reason. The Israelites niggas ain't just claiming to be the Israelites for nothing. You know, all of this is there for a reason, and you don't understand life as you know it until you study, or until Yahweh opened up your eyes. And the only ones that got a chance of allowing their eyes to, or opening their eyes, is the Israelites. So, you know, all the other world, you know, Yahweh can care less about. They can do whatever, because y'all don't belong in his family. In fact, you were created by the powers. Before the Israelites were on the earth, they created you. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people with these different opinions and these different beliefs that's not in the race of the Israelites, they don't really matter. They don't. The only thing that actually matters in the eyes of Yahweh is Israel. That's all God talk about, is saving Israel. On the last day, Israel's going to make it. When I destroy these nations and crumble these cities, only the Israelites will make it. Not all of them, but a few of them, but they will be Israelites. You know, so when all this stuff take place, the Israelites, they got a chance to redeem themselves with Yahweh Shem Yahushua, Yahweh willing. And a lot of us, we fantasize about that. A lot of us, we think about that. As much as we try to go on about our day, it's always in the back of our minds, you know, that Yahweh is going to return We hope to live to see that day, and we hope to be the one that Yahweh will come and rescue, because it's a lot of brothers that, in the eyes of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, they deserve to be rescued. They deserve to go up, and this is all prior to the last day. And the last day is the nuclear day, and it is coming very, very soon, and it is going to happen. But for right now, it take the build up, take a couple of years to get it all in order, so on and so forth. So while you have time, you should be getting into your beliefs with Yahweh Shem Yahushai. You should be seeking redemption. You should be seeking repentance. You should be seeking to be acquitted, meaning to be clean. And the eyes of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, and preparing yourself for what's to come, because you live in a spiritual world, but you live in a physical world, but you are a spiritual body as well. And a lot of people, disregard that. That's how a lot of our people disregard that. That's how fucked up and evil this world is, and that's how destroyed our people are. They disregard that. They just believe in the flesh. They believe in what they can see, what they can touch is real. And like the Most High say, don't always go on the shit that you can see. Go on the things that you cannot see, because there's stuff that's in this world you don't gotta see to know it's there. So and the powers, they don't have to, they are revealing themselves, but they don't. An angel just ain't got to pop up and tell you what's going on for you to know that the angel is there, And the Most High is putting the powers that be from the hierarchy to the lower hierarchy back in motion. So from the powers that are commanded by Yahweh Shem Yahushai and his son Yahushai, through his son Yahushai, he give all the authority to do what he, to follow out the blueprints of the Almighty, which is Yahweh Shem Yahushai. And Yahushai is the chief, and he controls everything, and he controls the powers that be. And the powers that be command those the powers that be command the lower archy powers. You know what I'm saying? And then the powers, they split off. Some of the powers are helping the Israelites wake up, which are the lower archy powers, and then some powers, they got authorities over the spirits and over other people and over the control of everything as it is. Because those principalities are those other spirits that the powers are controlling. Everything has an order. Everything has an order, And this is what it is. And one day, when the time comes, you're living in an era to where that day is coming to where you're gonna have to encounter what they call it. Instead of they calling it the angels or Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, they call it the alien menace. That's what they calling the return of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, the alien menace, the invasion. You know what I'm saying, so to speak. Because when the earth is at its brink of its destruction, the quote-unquote aliens, even though we know they're not aliens, which is a disrespectful term. Alien is a foreigner. First of all, it ain't got nothing to do with an extraterrestrial being. You know what I'm saying? A foreigner from another country, some sort of invader. A person that doesn't belong in an area. So that's what that means. So I don't know why they call it. When you look up the different vocabulary words in the dictionary, then you look up the older words, they give you different meanings. So a certain word that you think that means that don't mean that at all. So and a lot of people fail to do that. You don't even listen to the prophets when they break down scripture and they break down these words, and they break down these certain vocabularies, whether it be in Hebrew, Greek, or English. They giving you the proper breakdowns. You don't even try to read the Blue Letter Bible, because that's what it's for. This Blue Letter Bible is to decipher the words and actually know what they mean, And a lot of people, they fail to do that. See, that's where your belief in your faith and whatever you believe in it ain't got no backbone. It doesn't have no support beat. And this is how easy it is for the Israelites to destroy everything you created in your mind or whatever was passed down to you, or destroy your belief entirely, because either your support beat is weak or you don't have one. And the Most High gave the prophets the authority to destroy all those religions, to knock it all down, to give you the truth that's hidden in plain sight. It really is, Like they say, if you don't want a black person to understand anything, put it in a book, because they hate reading. They do. And all they got to read is one book. One book is going to take care of you and open your knowledge up to the whole world, which is the Bible, you know? So it makes so much sense, you know? And it says, then Yahweh said, let the waters under the heavens be gathered together into one place, and let the dry land appear, and it was so. And Yahweh called the dry land earth, and gathering together the waters he called seas. And Yahweh saw that it was good. Then Yahweh said, let the earth bring forth grass, that herb that yields seed, and that fruit tree that yields fruit according to its kind, and whose seed is in itself on the earth. And it was so. And he and the earth brought forth grass that yields seeds according to its kind, and the trees that yield fruit, and whose seed is in itself according to its kind. And Yahweh saw that it was good. So when he commanded Yahweh Shai to do a part of the blueprint, he commanded the powers, and the powers gave that order down to the powers that control the earth, and they created everything that Yahweh desired for the earth to be, and what it will appear to be to this day. So, you know, they created the mountains, they created the beautiful clouds, they created the animals, they created the bugs, the insects, they created the air that we breathe. You know, they created the different molecules, the different diseases, they created different medicines. You know, they created different kind of terrains. You got certain areas that's just straight fire, lava. You know, then you got certain areas, that's like just pure snow. You know, you got areas that's made for thunder. You got some areas that's designed to be every season in one. You know, different paradises on the earth. The earth is a beautiful place when it's ran right. You know, especially the stories in the beginning on how the earth was created. And then the powers that be, they even made other people. Yes, they did. And these other people are considered the nations or the beast of the earth. The Most High don't even consider them as people. They are a part of the animals, the animal kingdom, you know. So you got the people that the Elohim, which God mean Elohim, and it mean the chief or the chief or the powers that be. So the powers on the earth, they created people, you know, and they made people, and the people weren't made in the image of Yahweh. They were mostly, you know, made from the idea of the hands and feet. Yeah, of course, but they weren't made in the image of Yahweh. They were made like the animals. They have characteristics like animals. They were made to be like the animals. And the animals, they got certain senses, they got certain things, but they don't have it all. You know, they don't have it all up there. You know, like a dog can use the bathroom where he stand at, or, you know, certain animals, they do have a certain order to themselves to where you can make a cat go to a designated area to go use the bathroom, but you got to teach them, you know. But overall, these people were made different from the angels. And a long time ago, the angels had made a bunch of beasts, because that's what they are. They are part of the animal kingdom. These nations that think that they are part of God because they feel like they hold God's image. That's not what Yahweh was talking about, and it's not a racist thing. It's not, and at the same time, it's not something to be played with either. You know, that is the truth of the world. That is the truth of creation. That's what that is. Period, point blank. The powers that are being overturned, which was us, which is the lower archy, which is the Israelites that are being overpowered, we getting our ass kicked by something that we created. You know, so that's another heavenly or cosmic joke. Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, the very thing that you created is overpowering you, and I'm allowing it to, because you simply disrespected me. You made me angry. You've angered the Lord. So the Lord gave this object more power than you, this animal more power than you, and you being overpowered by something that you designed, that you were created to rule over. So, you know, like that's a part of the creation. These powers that are very serious, and when you go deep into the Bible, you know how things were created is actually so deep that it's beyond intelligence. To this day, you got the white man, and you know, got different departments of studying just exactly what they're dealing with, just exactly what these powers created, all the way down from the biology of people, the animals, how they created with different sophisticated designs. You know, some animals are made to be killing machines, some animals are made to be herbivores, some animals were made to keep the environments clean. You know, you got animals that live on the sea, live on the land. Some animals are actually musical, born like living instruments and shit. You know, like it's really serious. You know, like, or the plants and how they design. You know, some plants grow edible food. You know, food that's just right for people to eat. You know, and to digest, and would make them better and make them live longer. You know, all the way to the air that you breathe. They got containments of different air that they examine, and how the molecules or the H2O in these different cells in the air, they completely keep multiplying. They completely keep multiplying and multiplying to an infinity beyond count. You know, and they do their job too. They even wonder how a cell, they ain't got no heart. You know, it doesn't have any main parts, but it is still alive. It is still breathing. And that is what's puzzling. They got different departments like, you know, like science, astrology, geology, the study about the world and the interior of the earth. You got, they actually send people around the world to go check out certain things in the Bible to go look at, to see if it's true or not. And different mysteries of the Bible where it point to where these white people got so much money they can actually go and see it and see if it's real or not. So, you know, when you think about that, and they study this every day around the clock in their think tanks and their laboratories, you know, amongst conversations, you know, whether in groups, you know, they got archaeologists that go out and they go study the world. Some of them are actually studying a real thing. And then you got some of them that are just, you know, studying falsified or lost tech that don't got nothing to do with anything. And some of it is just forbidden knowledge, like, you know. But while you sitting on the couch, you know, while the average Israelite is sitting on the couch, your enemy is seeking all knowledge. Your enemy is seeking to understand the world. He wants to be what you barely strive to become, you know. You are a God by right. He wants to be a God as well. And he's like, you born with that right to be a God on the earth if you knew exactly who you really were, you know. But I am struggling to be a God, and I barely even got a small fragment or even a taste of what you have and what you are born with. So we born with that power. Your enemy isn't born with it, which is why he's so jealous and he strives to destroy us. It's because we are born with that right. He's not born with that. He's not born a God. You know what you know, and without Yahweh Shem Yahushai, you know, you being an average Israelite, you just a regular man in this world if you don't have that kind of knowledge. But if you do have that kind of wisdom and knowledge, understanding, you know that you are the king. You are a prince. Yasharala means princes of the power, princes of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. We are princes of the Almighty through his son Yahushai. Amen to that. We are walking powers on the earth. So, you know, when you realize that, and we fell from grace, you know, we are the fallen angels that the Bible is referring to. We fell from rulership. We fell from the heaven on earth. We fell from, you know, people worshiping Yahweh, us, and we worshiping Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Because you have people, you know, that was worshiping the Israelites and kissing their feet and becoming servants, all kinds of shit. They are the powers that rule. And then you got even greater powers than them that don't even live on this earth. They live in the cosmos and beyond. And it's a real serious thing to play with. I don't know if what's wrong with people, but I wouldn't play with nothing like that. You know, like very serious, you know, very serious accusation. We can go to that. That reminded me to stay in Genesis a little bit longer and read that. Where is it at? That story with the flood and all that. Yeah, right here. This is where they get that stupid fallen angel doctrine. And any angel that's a part of the power of Yahweh, they don't have the power to betray Yahweh. They wasn't made like that. You understand? There wasn't designed like that. The powers were designed to obey Yahweh Shem Yahushai, and they got all power of the cosmos. They got everything that they ever wanted. Like Yahweh said, one angel, I can send one angel to destroy the entire earth. And that is true because they are living powers. They like, I don't know how to describe them, but that's what you describe them. You put them in that bracket of being just the strongest, one of the strongest creations that God ever created. But Yahweh Bashem Yahushua is him. But, you know, you got the other powers that be that were a part of the Lord's design, that they were created to be immortal, unstoppable, destructive. And they obey the command of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, you know. They are all-knowing. They are all-seeing, you know, and it's not nothing to be played with. But, you know, this is where they get it from. It says, now it came to pass when men began to multiply on the face of the earth, and daughters were born to them, that the sons of Yahweh saw the daughters of men. Long time ago, like the prophet said, they used to call them the Adama, meaning like Adamite or something like that. The Adama, which were another name for the Israelites. And they were the powers that were referred to. And this is when they bring up the fallen angel thing, which ain't got nothing to do with the powers at all. It would have said the powers, you know what I'm saying, saw the daughters of men, and from all they chose they took, but it didn't say that. And the sons of God is referring to the Israelites. So you got the sons of God, you got the nations, and then you got the wicked. There are the sons of God, the sons of men, and then the sons of the wicked. That's how it goes. You know, so, and then you got the Israelites, which are the original sons of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua upon the earth. And them the ones that was taking women and having, you know, having sex with their women. And they were creating, it says, and Yahweh said, my spirit shall not thrive with man forever, for yet he is indeed flesh, yet all his days shall be 120 years. There were giants on the earth in those days. And also afterwards, when the sons of God came into the daughters of men, they bore children to them. Those were the mighty men of old, men of renown. So they bore children that were part of the powers too. They were the same thing. And they were, because the sons of God were gigantic, but then they got the children that were giants as well. And they were reborn, and they were reincarnated, and the powers and the angels, they came through those women, you know, and they were powers. This is actually what the Bible was talking about the Nephilim and all of that. That is referring to the Israelites too, because at a certain point they were a certain size. They were a little bit, they were bigger than normal men, you know. Now today, you know, they still the same way. A lot of Israelite brothers, they are like bigger than normal. Like any nationality of the nations that you know, they are bigger and more abnormal in size than a lot of other, you know, nations around the world, you know. So, you know, with that being, a long time ago, they were a little bit taller, were a little bit more bigger than average people. Not like super giants, like moving mountains and shit. Those are the powers. They're a whole nother topic to talk about. Like the size of St. Helen and the size of Yellowstone, and even bigger than that, you know. So those are the powers that be. When they walk the earth, they gonna make everybody look like fucking fleas and sand and shit, you know, like the Bible said, you know. The Bible, God refers to his people as the sand by the seashore, you know, and he referred to everybody as like soil or grass, you know. So, you know, you got to understand just what you're dealing with by using the examples of what Yahweh, how Yahweh views the world. Like, you know, he say all of the people are grass, you know, they nothing but grass to me, you know, and he's referring to the world. And then he called the world the field. He don't even call it the world, you know. Sometimes he'll call the world the field, you know. So, you know, and it's in the eyes of Yahweh, when he walks the earth is nothing but small pitch patches of grass and water. And man, it's hard to describe it unless you take your time and you study it. You got to study it for yourself. You need to understand what's coming is nothing to play with. It's very serious. This world is in a freaking universe, in a freaking cosmos, and there are entities on the world that run this world. They run this place, you know, and you got to understand how serious that is, you know. They didn't make a space force for no reason. They not studying astrology for no reason. They're not building big ass telescopes to look in deep space for nothing, you know. They're not sending fucking fucking satellites out there to explore the worlds for no reason. They want to know what's out there. And these people, you know, like NASA and people like the government and all of that, they done seen some stuff that actually clarifies that, you know, there are other things that are running this place besides them. They a small fragment. You only a cog in the machine, you know? And you a small fragment of a small part in God's story. You're nothing. You just, you know, some sort of story that's about to be finished in God's book. You know, you just a page in the Almighty's grand design. And when that page is turned and your time has passed, it'll be like you never existed. Like, it'll be like you didn't even matter. You know, so like they say, one day in the eyes of Yahweh is 1,000 years, man. That ain't no joke, man. And I don't know, man. I'm just telling you, warning you, you know, about the return of the powers. And a lot of people don't think that they'll live to see those days, but those days are getting closer, and you will live to see, you know. And Yahweh willing, you'll live to see that day, to where, you know, when Yahweh Shai come back and he come back with those powers. And he's not coming to save the world. He's coming to destroy it, because the world that's passing is the old world. It's all corrupted. The Most High is about the children of Israelites. No, the children of Israel, his children. Yahweh Shai is about his children. And when he comes, he's not going to want to take them and heal the world and put them back. That's not how it works. He wants to destroy this world, get rid of this world, and make a better world for them and put them back in rule in every single nation back in order where they belong. You know, and that's the end of the story. That's the true purpose of why everything is just hurling into chaos, why everything is just keep getting worse and worse, whether it be events in the world or whatever's going on in the mind of an average man. You know, it's just getting worse and worse, and this is only the beginning of what's coming. So what you can do is study, you know, get your mind right. For the Israelite brothers, get your mind and your body right and your soul right. You know, exercise, study, listen to the prophets, have your own work, so that when you call to judgment one day, you can be found clean, and you can, the Most High pardon your sins and allow you to get away, you know, because you have works, you have faith, you have beliefs, you've been out there, you did the best that you could, you know, and the Most High will examine that and get you to an accurate judgment, you know, because a lot of people that's going to get judged, it's not going to be good for them. They will be killed, they will be destroyed. But for all of us brothers that do believe, and we do go out there and we try to, you know, talk to people, which I used to, you know, if they pass, they ask questions, you know, they can. I'll be here, you know, it's not like I don't. But, you know, you got works where you tried the best that you could, and the Most High is a very merciful God, and you are his child. So, you know, ask and thou shalt receive, you know, knocking it shall be open. There's nothing that the Most High would not give you. You know, I mean, it's up to him to save us and to give us what we truly desire. But overall, you know, if that's what you really want, it might not be no surprise that you would get it, you know, especially being the man that you are. You got to be a certain type of man. You can't just be anybody and receive the word. It doesn't work like that. A lot of people, they receive the word, but they don't change. And niggas know how hard it is to change. Niggas know how hard it is to become a new person. It is very difficult, you know, but if that's what you ask for from Yahweh, you're going to get that just result. And just be grateful. Sometimes you can't get everybody to change. If you the one that Yahweh changed and made better, then that is what matters, you know? That's what matters. You can't force these Israelites. You can't force our brothers and sisters to believe in what you believe. You can't force them to see the ideals of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. If the Lord don't want them to see it, or he don't want them to change, they won't. You know, we just pray that they do. You know, they make the sole decision. They got to make the choice. It's not like, you know, niggas is out here at gunpoint forcing you to change. No, it don't work like that. No, we don't need to do all that. Shoot, the time's coming when you do end up at gunpoint, you're going to wish you changed. You know, because you could be running with a believer, you know, that believe in Yahweh Shem Yahushai, and you could be running with him, and for some reason, you got caught, and the Most High allowed him to get away. And then you'll understand that the Lord was real, like, oh, the Lord finally caught me for all the things that I've done, and all the non-belief, and how much I didn't care about him, and how much I just disregarded. It's funny, like the prophet said, my man Gabar said, it's funny how people say they don't believe in God, but when that car is flying towards you and is about to kill you, or you caught in that gunfire, or somebody is attacking you trying to stab you to death, that's the first thing they say, oh God, no, oh God, please. You know, and it's very comedic. It's a cosmic joke, you know, because people say they don't believe in God, but on the brink of death, that's who you call on. So, you know, be wary, be aware of that, you know, and focus on what Yahweh Shem Shai wants you to do, and what and the plans of this world. You got to have that mindset of where God wants you, because if you don't, you ain't gonna have a fragment or a chance of surviving what's coming. You are born into an era to where the old world is passing and the new world is about to be born. So, you know, in order for you to make it to that world, you got to be on the side of Yahweh Shem Shai. In order for you to make it to that world without having that horrible pain of death, you know what I'm saying, to pass on from one body to another without no pain, you know, you got to be into Yahweh Shem Shai. You got to love Yahweh, because he got the keys of life and death. You know, he got the keys of pain and no pain. So, you know, and these powers that be that's coming ain't no joke. They gonna come and destroy this place. They're not coming to save nothing. Only the chosen is gonna make it. Them the only ones that's gonna make it. You know, like the Most High say, though the sand and the sea, only a remnant is gonna survive these horrible events. And that ain't no abbreviation. That is real true. That's just the ultimatum. That's the truth of what's about to happen in this world. And some people are chosen and some people not. But when these powers definitely come, they come in to roll some heads and to kick some butt. And you better hope that Yahweh got you beaming up on those flying saucers that people be making fun of. You be making fun of these flying saucers and these supposedly little green men and these aliens, and they not. But when they start saving people and shit, you gonna wish that you was a part of that. You know, you gonna wish that you was with them. You know, oh Lord, please save me too. And God is not gonna save you. God is not looking at you. Like Yahweh said, pray not for them. Them the ones that don't believe in me and don't worship me. Don't pray not for this world. You know, pray for people that do care about me. Don't be praying for these people that don't give two rats butts about Yahweh Shem Shai and not even thinking about him. And when they pass away, you feel bad, you know? And I love the grand design of Yahweh Shem Shai. This is why the Most High say, stay away from the wicked. This is a cold world. It's a cold game the way it's designed. The Most High say even to stay away from your family. So when something do come upon them and they don't believe, and something happened to them, you don't feel the effects of their death or they punishment or whatever they get, you know. So, you know, definitely, you know, I gotta experience that, because I love people that say they're a part of the word, but they're not a part of the word. So that one day when they get they just due and something happened to them, I'm gonna be sad, but I'm not gonna be surprised, you know. So, because I got people that are close to me, you know, that are my flesh and blood. And when something happened to them, I'm gonna be sad, but I'm not gonna be surprised. Like, you know, that's why it happened. Like, you know, like there's nothing I can do about that. That's Yahweh Shem Shai, and whatever dealing that you got with him, and whatever happened to you. But overall, you know, just for you people to know that World War III is gonna happen. And when all the chaos happened, this alien menace that y'all always making fun of, they will present themselves. Yahweh Shai will come, and he gonna bring an armada of angels with him, and they're gonna go to war with this evil white man, you know, and these wicked nations that follow. And anybody that's with them, they gonna get massacred. It ain't gonna just be something that's just gonna pass through. You know, it ain't gonna be something that's just gonna be looking pretty. It's gonna be real dark, real sad. It's gonna be bad, man. Gonna be bad. I can imagine it, you know, and if you in the word, you can imagine it too. But we racing towards that day. Right now it's a race to the end of time. That's exactly what it is. And anybody that make it, Yahweh willing, that's in the truth, Yahweh willing, they make it to the last day and they survive and they able to be saved by Yahweh Shem Shai, man, because that's the game right there. The ultimate prize is to pass through death with no pain, you know, because we all got to die, so all of us. But the ones that are chosen, they're not going to have to feel no pain. They're going to go from one body to the next. That's exactly what's going to happen. So in order for you to do that, you know, you got to believe in Yahweh Shem Shai and at least do the best that you can You know, because a lot of people, they're going to have to die. In order to get to their body, they're going to go through so much pain to get to one part to the next. You know, they're going to go through a lot of pain, you know, but overall, you know what I'm saying, for those of them that do believe, you know, I pray for the ones that got the chance and got that little golden ticket to where they can go on these ships and they can be taken, you know. They got all kind of stories. They got all kind of movies on it, so it's all in your face. You know, it's all over the news, these Bible prophecies and these things that are happening. It's all a part of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai's plan. It's proof that it's happening. It is here. You better hope that you in the word, the real word, rather than be told a lie and be hypnotized with what these people believe in. You know, but that's the wonder of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. Like the Most High say, I'll pour my spirit upon all flesh. Meaning that everybody gonna know about Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. So, you know, for them brothers and sisters that's in the church, you know, make your way out. And for the brothers and sisters that are making their way out of the church, I hope you found the truth and you journeying out of that and you no longer a part of that. And you pushing yourself to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai and to worship your true God, you know. So at the end of the day, it ain't everybody else's God. Nobody can come and worship God and be in his presence. Nobody can just know God and just worship him. No, it don't work like that. Yahweh just want his people and only his people. They are the powers. They have to be restored in order for everything to get back in line. These guys, these Israelites that everybody is making fun of and that everybody wants to be but are not, you know, these Israelites, they got to go back to where they belong. They belong being the rulers of the powers of the earth. They belong in the angel status, and they are angels. They belong in a bracket, and they are supposed to rule. That way the world can run right. Because right now, without us being in rule, without us controlling these people, without us controlling the earth is out of whack, man. So much shit is happening in the earth, it ain't even funny, man. Like it said in the Bible, for the angels that which not kept their first estate, but are reserved into everlasting chains of darkness, for to await the great and terrible day. You know, you got certain angels that are standing up, that are reincarnated for the sole purpose of leading us back to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. And those of us that are waking up to who we really are as the powers of the earth and as the angels that we are, and rising back up to their estate. You know, some of these angels that Yahweh put down are actual powers, the higher powers that came down to guide us into the right path. Thank you for Great Millstone and those prophets, because it's certain prophets in Great Millstone that are the angels, the powers that came down here to guide us to where we need to be, you know, and take care of us and make sure that those of us that are the other angels, we know to follow and go for that, for the light, you know, and not be confused, not be confounded, know who we are. And this is mainly for a lot of brothers, you know what I'm saying, a lot of the men, because without the men, the women won't follow, you know, and that is very detrimental. That is very true. You need to be able to be a man and be able to be strong and be that living example. It don't matter who you're around you, even if you gotta be a living example for yourself. Do that, you know, because at the end of the day, without us brothers assuming and going back to our, knowing that we the princes of the power and we belong with these powers, you know what I'm saying, our people won't take us seriously, even though they not. This is actually for your own benefit, but for those people that do, that are around you, that are aware that you in this kind of shit, they know, you know what I'm saying, like that the only reason why he becoming stronger is because Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai got him, and he has some sort of relationship with the Lord. He believes in Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. He knows exactly what's going on, you know. So and don't be surprised that when all this shit start happening and you happen to be around people, this is one of the penalties that God is talking about, that these people try to follow you but they can't go where you go. You know, they can't run where you run. If God called you, he called you. Like Apostle Gabar said, when it's time to run, you got to give everything back that the Lord gave you. He gave you a family. He gave you a job. He gave you livelihood. He gave you your kids. If ain't none of them in the word, then you got to give all that shit back. You know what I'm saying? You got to give it back to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. That is the payment for your survival. That is the debt. If they not in the truth, and by the time all this shit happening, a lot of these people that are following you, you're going to have to cut them off, man, and let them go, man. They can't go where you're going. And it's going to get deep. It's going to get scary. It's going to get real dark. Yahweh going to get straight to the point. Either you come with me or you stay with them and you die with them. Or sometimes the Most High can put you in a predicament to where you watch them all die and I still allow you to get away. So it's going to get real deep. And right now it's getting real cutthroat because we almost to the main events. So, with that, call on Yahweh Shem Yahushai in the name of Yahushai. And much love. And I'll be out here on Sundays or come out here on my weekday, either or, and keep pushing and keep this in lock because I don't want to lose my bond with Yahweh Shem Yahushai. And, like they say, have faith and stay prayed up. And praying means to beg for forgiveness. So, to beg, so, you got to be like a beggar in the eyes of Yahweh and continue to pray to Yahweh the best that you can until you weary the Lord and the Lord give you what you want, but you got to be in the word, you got to be in the truth, so with that, call on Yahweh Shem Yahushai and prepare because the powers are returning, and if you're not, you're going to get crushed flat or you probably be killed before they even come. So, with that, shalom.